Hello friends, this is Carrie and welcome back to I Like Reddit channel. I hope you all are staying safe and healthy. Today we have 4 stories out of the Entitled Parent subreddit. Let's begin. Our first story is by Socially Declined 00. Boomer tries to steal my baby. I'm a 20-year-old female with a 3-month-old son. We took our son to the park for the first time. They have good swings for little babies, so we had him in there. He absolutely loved it, by the way. There was an older lady there with 3 kids. I'm assuming her grandchildren because they were pretty young, and she seemed like my grandmother's age. She was eyeing us since the moment we got there. My fiance is a smoker, and he is not allowed anywhere near the baby while he's smoking, so he went to the baseball field to sit and smoke. This is a decent ways away. Even though this is a very, very small town, I didn't know the woman, as we didn't live in that town that we are currently at. We live in a bigger town in that county, but apparently the county's park didn't have swings, even though it's huge. What? But I was familiar with this town, as I lived here for many years when I was younger. So he was fine with leaving us alone, just not familiar enough to know the people anymore. My step-grandparents also live here, so I felt comfortable. After my fiance had gone over to the ballpark, this lady approached me and began talking to me. She asked me how I like babysitting, and I laughed at her and told her I'm not babysitting, this is my son. This set her off. She grabbed a hold of my wrist and told me don't lie to her, and that I'm too young for this to be my son, and that she didn't believe me. She told me if I didn't produce valid forms of identification for both of us that she would call the police for kidnapping. So here's the issue. I don't carry a wallet with me that often, and the only form of identification I have on my son is an insurance card, as his birth certificate and social security card have not come yet due to everything being bogged down with the virus. I told the lady that, and she turned into her group with my wrist, stating that that's a lie because they give you the documents at the hospital. They don't. It escalated to the point where she shoves me down and tries to grab my son, stating that she will be keeping a hold of him until the cops arrive. I quickly got up and grabbed my son from her. I didn't punch her, but I sort of palmed her nose, which I guess I did harder than I meant to because she started bleeding. She yelled at me that she was going to press charges for assault. My fiance was making his way back during the time and caught the tail end of the confrontation. Skipping ahead to when the cops showed up, they were talking to each other, but the old lady won't stop screeching, so they take us farther away to talk. I'm in complete fight mode and terrified. I'm frantically explaining I don't have ID, that this is my son, we just came to the park to play. I showed the officer a photo of him getting pulled out of me, C-section, and him on my chest a few hours later. Obviously he looks different now, but you can tell it's the same baby. We were allowed to go home, but we were told we'd be hearing from someone about the assault and the charge against the woman. I'm aware that there is some context missing and I really don't have time to sit down and write down everything. If there's any questions, I'll try and answer them to the best of my ability. Update. We set up an appointment with a lawyer for Monday, and we will be going to the police station later today. We called ahead and made an appointment for 3. It's noon currently. Someone had mentioned seeing if the park had cameras. I wasn't sure that they did because it's a very small area, but we called anyways, and it turns out they did. They agreed and sent a copy of the footage to me, but only have a couple, so I'm not sure if what happened was caught on tape, as the cameras are near the pavilion and the swings are off to the side. I also like to add that I didn't expect it to blow up so much, and would like to thank everyone for their kind words and support. I know I should have reacted better, but I was in such shock that it happened so fast. I felt guilty for not protecting my son, and I'd appreciate if the comments about me doing a crap job would stop, please. What do you guys think? Do you think OP overreacted or underreacted? Please leave your comments in the comment section down below. Our next story is posted by Yo Beaver Boy. EK broke his phone to take mine. This story is a bit of a long one, but if you have the time to read it, enjoy. Last year I bought my newest phone, a Samsung Galaxy A70, that I still use to this day. About a month after buying it, one day I took my husky on a walk in the park. Usually I'd just sit on a bench and let her run freely through the park. She's very friendly and strangers would often play with her and pet her. While she's running through the park, I decide to pull out my phone and browse social media. That's when a kid, who was probably about 6 or 7, approaches me. He just stands there, looks at my phone for a while. EK, your phone is so big. Me smiling, yeah, it sure is. He pulls his phone out of his pocket. I didn't take a good look at it. I saw that it was a white Samsung. The screen was full of scratches, but not broken. Anyway, it's safe to say that the phone has seen better days. He puts the phone next to mine and compares the size. The A7 is quite a bit larger than his phone, and he was apparently impressed by this. EK, it's bigger than mine. Me, yes, it's a big phone. EK, do you have any games on it? Me, no, I don't play games. At this point, I just wanted to get rid of him, so I was getting ready to leave. I was about to call my husky by her name when the kid asked if I wanted to swap phones with him. EK, do you want to swap phones with me? Me, no, I don't, sorry. EK, in a sad tone, but why? My phone is good too. It has games on it. Yours doesn't have games. I called my husky and put her back on her leash and prepared to leave. Shortly after I start walking towards the park gate, the kid intentionally bumps into me and lets go of his phone. I think let go is probably not the right term. He intentionally threw his phone on the ground. He picks up the phone almost as soon as he drops it, and the screen is shattered. EK, you broke my phone. Me, no, I didn't. You dropped it. EK, yes, you did. Now you have to give me your phone. His mother hears him yelling and she comes over to see what's going on. EM, what happened here? EK, he broke my phone. The kid shows his broken phone to his mother. Tell him to give me his phone. EM, did you break my son's phone? Me, no, I didn't. He ran into me and dropped it. EM, so you did have something to do with this. Me, no, I was just leaving and he was the one who bumped into me, which was intentional, by the way. EM turns to her son. Is this true? EK, no, he broke my phone. Now I want his phone. Me, he's lying. EM, don't call my son a liar. He said you broke his phone. Give him your phone right now or I'll call the police. Me, the police? Are you joking? For what? I didn't do anything. I just turned and kept walking. The EM started yelling and asking me about my address so that she could call the police on me. I told her it was none of her business where I lived and just went home. I know kids can do crazy stuff, but after seeing this little crap intentionally break his phone to take a stranger's, I think I've seen it all. This whole interaction felt like some sort of a scam, and it kind of makes me wonder how many people they've done this to in the park that day or that week. I'm glad that the OP basically told them to pound sand and just left. Though I'm kind of surprised that the entitled mother didn't try to follow him home or something, but maybe they found another mark to try this on. Anyway, what do you guys think? Please leave your comment in the comment section down below. If you've been watching until here and are enjoying my content, please put some heart emojis in the comment section down below. Our next post is by Hecka Queer, a pure violation of privacy. Hey everyone, this is my first time posting on this subreddit, so I'm going to give you a bit of backstory. I have a ton of stories to share, but this one is the most recent. It's very short. Backstory. Almost all of my entitled parent stories stem from my abusive mother, EM. Most of the abuse came because I'm trans and gay, but that's a whole other story. Because of her, I have PTSD. About a month after I turned 18, I left her house and I've been slowly cutting contact with her. My biggest two reasons for moving out are from her abuse and the constant invasion of my privacy. Story. I've been continually trying to cut contact with my entitled mother, as having her in my life has been a huge mental strain. One of the big ways I'm trying to get her out of my life was to get off of her phone plan. This has been extremely difficult because I have EDS and chronic fatigue, which makes it difficult for me to work. I've finally earned enough money that I am able to afford my own phone plan, so I ordered my new SIM card. I do email my entitled mother to let her know that I will be getting a new SIM card so that she will no longer have to worry about my phone on her plan. This is when things take a turn for the worse. "You can't do that," was the first words in her email reply. After I read the next sentence, I literally went to vomit. She said, "I've been tracking you 3 times per day." I wish I could yell back that this was one of the reasons I left in the first place. I'm a legal adult who no longer is in her custody. I am my own person with my own boundaries, and even when I left, you couldn't respect them. She ended with, "If you get a new SIM card, I won't be able to know where you are." Not, I won't be able to know that you're safe, but I won't be able to know where you are. My entitled mother has always played these power games, and getting off her phone plan is just one step closer for me being free from her grasp. All I have left to do is to get off of her health insurance, and then I will be free of her, at least in the legal sense. The emotional and physical scars she left will always be there. Despite this, my story does have a happy ending. She no longer has any way to track me, as I do have my new SIM card. The only way for her to get in touch with me is through an email that I no longer use. Though things may have been hard, I'm in a safe and loving household now. If you all want more entitled parent stories about my EM, I'd be happy to share them. Wow, that is crazy. I'm glad that the OP is safe and that they no longer have to deal with their entitled mother's BS. But what do you guys think about this story? Please leave your comments in the comment section down below. Our final story is by Von Kittenstein. Is an in-law still a parent? the story of I Know the Owner. So a few weeks ago, me and a friend went to a yay, quarantine is lifted happy hour together. She apologized but said that she had to invite her mother-in-law as because the woman, EP, had wanted to go to the same restaurant the same day and might have shown up anyway. We were there for maybe 15 minutes and got our drinks and a basket of bread and placed an order for appetizers, seated inside in the nice AC. In comes the entitled parent. We see her and my friend, let's call her Emily, waves at her. The entitled parent waves back, but is still at the hostess stand for a good 10 minutes. A long time when you're sitting there trying to wonder what she's doing. We have a table. The restaurant was for sure busy as heck and had a wait. The poor hostess looked disgruntled. Finally, the entitled parent comes over and sits down. EP, I asked for a patio table. I told her I know the owner. They always take care of me. We were uncomfortable because we hadn't wanted one or go outside at all. But she didn't ask us. She just went for it. I honestly knew this was going to get worse. 10 or 15 minutes later, she's twisting around, making a show of how she's looking for someone. EP, I always sit at the bar here. I never pay for my drinks. They always buy my drinks for me. I think that's the owner right there with his friends. She points to a group of people standing and laughing. His name is John, I think. The waiter comes over. She complains that we still haven't been reset. He says he will check on it. She says, I know the owner. I want that table over by them now. Just pull some chairs. The waiter tried to explain they're only allowed to seat every other table and there weren't any free ones available. She looks indignant and says, I'm gonna go over there and ask him myself. The waiter leaves and she starts complaining to us about something or another. Emily had warned me that the entitled parent is a bit much. She waves again another passing waiter that isn't our guy, and he comes over. EP, is that the owner over there? Waiter, yes, that's him. EP, what's his name again? Waiter, Mark. So she jumps up and runs over there and pretends like she knows him. Oh my God, I haven't seen you in forever. So good to see you. She didn't even know his name. We were forced by her to move to the table next to his group where he didn't once speak to her, but she kept turning around to make eye contact with him. Even bought him a shot. He didn't accept it. The bill for the end of the night was $370. Both Emily and the entitled parent ordered food to go for their husbands. I had the waiter split my check off of theirs. The entitled parent insisted she pay the rest herself without Emily pitching in. Emily was uncomfortable but got the tip instead. Sounds good, right? Like a generous ending? No. Emily told me a week later that the entitled parent emailed the restaurant and threw a fit saying the bill was all wrong and how dare they mischarge her and it was so unprofessional and how the three of us couldn't have racked up that much. We were there for 4 hours and they both ordered premium stuff off the non-happy hour menu. It was 100% accurate. I'm so embarrassed I never want to go anywhere with her again. That's all the stories I have for today. Links to the original Reddit posts will be in the description box below. Please stop on by Reddit to show the OP some love and an upvote. If you enjoy my content, please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell notification to let you know when I've uploaded new videos. Thank you for watching and have a great day.